We're going to begin this morning with that latest on the devastating series of storms slamming the West Coast.
This morning, more than a dozen people have been killed from this system. More than 65 million Californians are waking up under a weather alert. Strong winds toppled trees and knocked out power for thousands. Leaders at California utility company PG&E called this its largest response to bad weather to date. The heavy rains are forcing many rivers and streams over their banks. In Ventura County, firefighters used a ladder and rope system to rescue people stranded by a flooding river. Tens of thousands along the state's central coast were given the emergency order to evacuate as floodwaters closed streets, swept away cars, and washed away roads. We're going to begin with Kelly Hubbard. She is the director of the Santa Barbara Office of Emergency Management. Kelly, thanks for joining us. I know you've probably had a long night here. Your area has been hit hard. We're seeing these flood alerts, these evacuation warnings across the state. First of all, just tell us, what's the situation like in your area right now?
Good morning. Thank you. Sure. This morning, we've actually had a little bit of a respite, a little bit of slowdown in rain. And what we're looking at is in the next couple of hours, much more rain coming again, the next band of heavy rain. And so really hoping our residents are continuing to hunker down or stay in the evacuation shelters and shelter in place if that's where they're at.
With more rain coming, just how concerned are you right now? And what are your biggest worries?
Yeah, a lot of concerns. We had a lot of impacts to our roadways, including Highway 101, a lot of our evacuation routes. And so hoping residents really stay inside, go to high ground if they are concerned about any safety, or stay at those shelters that they may already be evacuated to. Mud and debris is all over the place on the roads, in our creeks and rivers. Rivers are flooded. And in many places, the river that you pointed out in Ventura is right below us, causing breaks and people not being able to even get home. And so we're sheltering residents, workers who couldn't get home, and travelers who are coming through the area.
Do you feel like most people there are heeding your warning right now and are getting to higher ground, are trying to get to safe places?
We think so. It's hard. We can't even get into everybody. We do have some roads and closures that are blocked by mud flows and debris into the roads and streets. And so really just getting the messages to those we can't get to stay inside, go to that high ground. And from the calls we're getting, we think they're doing that.
Looking behind you, I can see what's either a bed with pillows or a couch with pillows right now. I'm guessing you might be spending the night where you are, as are many. I mean, how are you coping right now? How are the people you're working with, all the emergency response teams, coping?
Yeah, I think everyone's doing the best they can. This is my office. My bed is my sofa that can lay down for a few hours if I can get it. And I think that's what everyone's trying to do. We have first responders who are sharing hotel rooms, bunkering down, and then going back out, drying off, trying to warm up for a little bit. And so, this last night into this morning was also the 5-year anniversary of the 1/9 debris flow. And so it's a very anxiety for a lot of our community members who went through this 5 years ago in the Montecito area. And so really trying to support our community members. Our call center has community wellness volunteers in there as well to help with that anxiety, to not only answer questions about evacuations, but to help with those concerns too.
I mean, with that anxiety in mind, whether they're thinking about that Montecito mudslide from a few years ago, or whether they're just looking outside right now and seeing what's happening there, what is your message to people who are scared and maybe those who don't know what to do right now?
Sure. To listen to local public officials as they communicate. I know some of the protective actions continue to change as it's a very dynamic storm. And so, just really listen to what the messaging is for your community. Make sure you're registered for those emergency alerts and you're checking for our community. It's readysbc.org is our website, and having them check those. And if they're in other communities, checking the websites and the local media for the most current information on what they should do.
All right, Kelly Hubbard, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are thinking about you and the millions who are impacted by this right now. Please stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.